Well, all right, my friends, I'm here to show you how these solar systems operate. Okay, if you notice there, that is my MT50 monitor, and it tells me, some information. It shows me over here, the solar panel is putting out 14.8 volts, 9.2 amps. There went up a little because the sun came out. The state of the charge of the batteries at the present time is 13.2 volts, and 10 amps are going into the battery. Now, if you notice, the battery is receiving more amps than what the solar panels is putting out. That's because those charge controllers are MPPT, so any extra voltage, it converts it into amperage. So that's why you get a MPPT charge controller, because you get more power and you can pull more from your solar panels. Now, it's about 9 in the morning, so the batteries, right now they say that are 13.2 volts. Now, this charge controller right here, this one in particular, is putting in 10 amps. But if you notice, I have 5 charge controllers. So let's come over here really quickly so I can explain to you what's going on. So let me climb up here. All right, my first solar panel right now, which was the one we were looking at. Okay, it's bringing in. Let me scroll through here. It's bringing in 10 amps. But these are other solar panels that I have attached to the same system. So this one's bringing in 4.2. So we have 10 plus 4.2, 14.2. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 29. All right, okay? So right now, at 9 o'clock in the morning, that system right there, that 12-volt system, is receiving almost 30 amps of power just to charge that battery. Those 6 batteries. Now, out of those 30 amps that I'm currently generating, about 15 of those, or maybe a little less, about 13, are going towards running this freezer. So the rest of the amperage remaining, let's say the other 15 or so of that electricity is going towards the batteries, to charge the batteries. Okay? So that's how this works. You have solar panels. If you have a load running, like in this case, I have that freezer. I have some other stuff, but let's just to simplify this. So right now, out of those 30 amps that I'm currently generating, half of those are going to charge the batteries. The other half, the sun is running my freezer. Now, if you look at this number here, as the sun is coming out, 13.4 volts. That means the battery is going up. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is you're going to see those numbers rise substantially. When you have a 12-volt system, your voltage, let's say in another hour or so when the sun comes out, it's going to reach 14.5, 14.6. All right? When that voltage goes up to 14.6, that means that your system is receiving from the sun, and it's putting out the maximum that it can, to your batteries to fill them up. Okay? And that's going to be there a while until your batteries get filled. Then once your batteries are totally filled, the system kicks off, kind of like an air conditioner when it reaches the temperature, it kicks off, and it'll drop down to 13.8, and it'll remain there. Okay? That means that's called float charge. So you wake up in the morning, let's say your battery's at 12.5, sun comes out, the voltage starts rising and rising, reaches 14.5, 14.6 or so. It stays there a couple of hours, your batteries are charged, boom, drops down to 13.8, which is float. When it is floating, it's basically your batteries are not accepting any more charge, and if it drops down a little bit, the solar panels will kind of like trickle a little bit of energy into it. But basically, throughout all that time, with the sun happening, you get, whatever is going through, through the solar panels is running straight, like in my case, through the freezer. So right now, based on what's going on, this freezer is receiving all of the energy, okay, from the sun at the present time. It isn't pulling any power from the batteries. Okay, so let's go back over here. All right, as you notice, now it's at 13.5. The amperage 12.1 on this one. Remember, I have all these charge controllers. Now, why do I have all these charge controllers? Because I've maxed out all of them. So what happens is, with this one, I added a certain amount of solar panels. I maxed that out. Then I bought more solar panels, so I needed another charge controller to handle, and I maxed that out. So I've maxed out all of those charge controllers, and all of those solar panels that are on the roof are running through those charge controllers and are feeding these batteries, okay? And basically they really don't, it's not like they talk to each other, but they do recognize the voltage. So, they charge the batteries equally, and when one of them, gives a little more power than the other, well, the other ones adjust to the incoming voltage. So that's basically how this works. But that's the whole point, and what's important about this is the fact that that 13.5 is your state of charge of the battery at the present time. That's going to go all the way up to 14.6. It's going to stay there a while, and then it's going to drop to 13.8 once batteries are totally full. In the meantime, whatever power you're generating is going to the batteries, and if you hook up a freezer, or if you hook up anything, then that power will kind of like go off, part of it to supply the freezer, the other part goes to the batteries. Now, if you turn on too many things at once, then the sun will be running those appliances, but then your batteries won't be getting that much charge. So ideally, you always want to receive, more than what you're, wasting. So in my case, my system really runs lightly. I have a lot more solar than what I use. So I really don't have an issue. So if I'm producing 30 amps of power, out of those 30 amps, 10 or 12 of them are running maybe the freezer. The rest is all going straight to the battery. So in like 2 hours, 3 hours max, unless it's like a cloudy day, I get a full charge on all of my batteries, so which is ideal. And the thing is, I have multiple systems too. So, I have a system in the bathroom, I have a system in the living room, I have a system in my bedroom, each running different types of things. Like, for example, that main system right there is running the freezer, the lights, the whole house. But this battery and this is just a separate little system that I use for, fans, or sometimes I connect my laptop here for some reason. That battery over there is standalone. I use that separately with that small inverter. And then you have this 12-volt compressor fridge here, and that one's not even running off of that system. That's running off of this system here, so, which is my bedroom system. All right. And as we see, another charge controller here. This one's producing right now 12.3 amps. Okay, but the little fridge it only draws 45 watts. So, this is the sun right now is running the little fridge, and at the same time topping these bad boys up, running off of this inverter. So it's actually pretty simple, but those are the numbers that you have to pay attention to. You have a 12-volt battery. When the sun comes out, it's going to reach 14.5, 14.6. It's going to stay there maybe like 2 hours or so. Once your batteries are fully charged, it drops down to 13.8. Your batteries are fully charged or float, and whatever load you hook up to it, it's going to be run from the solar panels. And then around maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon, then you'll start drawing. When the sun goes down, that's when you'll start drawing power from the batteries. But during the day, if you have enough solar panels, you're running everything off of the sun, and your batteries get topped off. So that's how this works. I know I oversimplified it a lot, but just to give you a perspective. One more little thing: when you have a charge controller, especially these MPPT charge controllers, and talking about these type of batteries, flooded lead acid, it has a feature that usually happens once a month. It's called equalization, and basically your batteries get overcharged on purpose to equalize all the acid in it. So if you ever see that your charge controller is putting out 14.8, all of a sudden, don't be alarmed. It's just going through an equalization function. It usually does it once a month. So that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I'll be uploading this video now. I wanted to do it live to get the questions, but I get it like a bad intermittent signal, so I figured to do it this way it's better. So any questions, guys? Ruben Obed here. Peace.